Good afternoon to everybody. It is exciting to be here. Just trying to change the setting on one little item here, which we are working through, which we're going to get to in another way. So here we are. Oh, yep, working on changing the way this thing looks a little bit here too. We'll get that done. There we go. Yes, that's right. Easily pivotable table. That's the way we do it here. That is the way it happens here on Tomato Talk. That's right. Top of mind. Advancement through obstacles. Yeah, and I got a friend of mine. That is actually helping me out with the logo design of this thing. I didn't know he's actually a young man. First time, I don't know if it's his first time doing it. He said he does do it, but he's the learning stages of the whole thing, and I'm really looking forward to seeing seeing what he comes up with. I gave him there it is. I gave him a couple of ideas. There we go. Gave him a couple of ideas as to what I wanted to do with that logo, what it stood for, what was kind of like the motivation behind the whole thing. So once we get that kind of moving along a little bit more, we'll change it over to you. I also learned something new because we're now communicating with the with StreamYard a little bit more, and it's me communicating with StreamYard. Why? Because I want to be able to use this thing to its fullest extent, and that is where we're at with everything, along with changing up some of the other things that are going on here. I know you're thinking, hey, we're talking about volcanoes today. Well, I don't know. Maybe we're all a personal volcano in some respects, right? We rumble around a little bit. We kind of figure out where we're going. I don't know, throw off a little steam every once in a while. That is possible. And good afternoon to you, Mr. King. Yes, that's right. Good afternoon, Mr. King. There we go. We can make this thing a bit more conversational. So here's where we're at with the whole thing. One, I missed 2 days last week of shooting this. I don't know if you want to call it that. Turning on the computer, as this goes. Super easy to do, my friends. That's the message. Super easy to do. But I had a distraction. Let's just say, had something I had to do. I had to take a test. It turned out to be more than a test. It turned out to be a bit more of quite the challenge. Another one of those obstacles. What did we learn from it? Well, quite a bit. Learned the material, of course. Passed. Yes. There we go. Thank you. If anybody really cares. Whatever you care, you don't care, whatever. But here's what I did learn is that studying is an art and taking a test is another art. Now, I guess it does depend. Well, in this case, the test I took, learned a few things about test taking, that kind of a test where it was multiple choices. It was either 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, or it was answers 1 and 2, or 2 and 3, or 1 and 4, and all the rest of that stuff. But well, I think though, from what I have gathered and I passed, I guess I qualify now as being a expert. Oh no, far from it. I'm an opinionated person. There's a difference between an expert and an opinionated person. I'm an opinionated person. We said you can take a look at these things and probably narrow it down to at least a 50-50 shot if you have no idea what the answer is. Because some responses completely contradict the other response. So if the question is, if a train, if the train is going, if a train hits a tree, what will happen with the tree? And if one of the answers is the tree will fall down, and the other answer is the tree will survive, well, it's going to be one of the two, unless the third one is the tree will kind of make it. Well, I don't know. So maybe it's 1 and 3 in that case. But read those questions. Read the answers. Reading the answers was a big thing to me. So that was it, narrowing down in that respect. But it also rereading the question. And I got to thank a few friends on this note, where you ever answer a question too fast? Forget the test taking. I'm just talking real life. You ever answer a question a little too quickly and they were like, that's not what I was asking you. Well, if you're having a friendly conversation with somebody, you get clarification, all well and good. If you're doing it on a test where you need to score a certain level, it's not all well and good. So reread. That was another big thing there. Reread. And the last little hint I got was I called a buddy of mine that had to take the same test, and I told him I was taking it. He just kept on laughing. And so my friend, really? So at the top of the paper, my notes that I was able to write on, I wrote down read, and I wrote down the name of that person's name because I knew he was like enjoying the fact that I had to go through the pain of taking this test. You know, I'm 60. I know I can. I must continue to learn. But darn it, do I really have to continue to take tests too? Well, sometimes you do, you know. And sometimes the biggest test that we take of them all is you. The feedback you get from that, the feedback that you receive from different people. That's the test. That's not the test, but that's the responses. Look, if you do something and nobody cares, it's like, why are you doing it? And then you got to really ask yourself why you're doing it. And maybe if that answer is why you're doing it is because you just feel good doing it, then you know what? That's the reason for doing it. Hey, look, this thing right now, do I get a whole lot of people listening? I get the important people listening. That's right, Mr. King. Thank you. And all of you folks that wind up listening to sing at some point in time in the future, again, thank you. All the guests we've had on over the years, man, it's 2 years doing this thing, doing this format. It's been an absolute pleasure. You get feedback from that's it's not a test per se, but it is the same kind of thing. You're getting feedback. So I got feedback it was pass fail. I didn't get the grade, which means I got a 99. If anybody asks, you say, "Hey, I heard Brian took a test. He got a 99." Nobody will tell you differently. So who knows? Who knows? But we get feedback from different people. You got to continue to ask yourself that question: why? Why are you doing it? So if you're doing it because you just enjoy doing it, and look, I enjoy doing this thing, so I do it. Great. If I was doing it for a business, it's a little different. I'm doing this from the learning curve standpoint, so that's that. That's it. The other thing, different. I had to do it. Had to pass that one. So that's where that goes along. That's that story. And you never know what the future holds. And that's one of the things that comes up here with this volcano. And I want to pop over to the video with that. This way, show you what's going on over in the Canary Islands, which I just find fascinating. How that whole thing how it's transpiring, what's going on there, and all the rest of that stuff. Oh, I got to get actually to the what's going on there. But the guy that's been doing it, Bushcraft Bear, the guy that's been doing that has been he's been doing these videos for quite a while. And let's just put this one right here. I'm just going to play what's going on at this point in time. Just want to kill the sound right there. That's good. And then we'll skip ads. So just going to put this on this way we get a full view of what's happening, currently at the moment while I continue to talk. Share screen. And but he was doing these videos for quite a while for some other reason, not just because of the volcano, but he was doing it for other reasons. And then it just so happens, when the volcano came along, that let's go with that. This way I have that. When the volcano came along, he had the experience now to do these things. That's a live video, by the way, of what is taking place in the Canary Islands. We'll make that a little bit bigger. That's fine. To see me. You see that? That's a live video of what's going on over there. So what did happen, though, is that it had slowed down over the last couple of days. There was more steam coming out than anything else, gas, which was, it's not just steam. It's not just water boiling steam. There was some gas mixture in there. So it's not the safest thing in the world, anyhow, for the residents. And as it stands right now, they're in a quarantine. There's something like 30,000 people or so that live in that area that are now being quarantined because of the air quality. It's gotten to be so bad. So it's 1:13 in the afternoon here. It is 7. It's a 6-hour difference. So it's 7:13 p.m. over there. I think the sun is setting. I don't think it's fully set. There's still some light up there. But this is not the middle of the day. So it's not like it should be very bright outside doing that. But let's get back to bushcraft. And this is where these opportunities come up that you need to be prepared for, and you learn from, and you learn from doing, and you never know where the opportunity truly arises. In this case, with bushcraft, he'd been doing these videos now for 10 plus years prior to this. Was it about the volcano? Absolutely not. The island is, or the islands of the Canaries are built by volcanoes. Each one of them. It's a volcanic island change, just like Hawaii is a volcanic island change. Every one of those islands there is a volcano, is a dormant, some are dormant volcanoes, some are not, some are very live, and they're massive, massive. They had snowstorms, snowstorms that were taking place over in Hawaii. I don't know if there's any snow on the top of these. I don't believe so, because they only stand about 6,000 or so feet tall. Hawaii is bigger than that, but both of these islands have been created the same way. It's the lava from underneath bursting up through the surface, creating these volcanoes. Lava flow, the red that you see there, that's the lava flow. That's what's building at the land, and it's built quite a few hectares, acres, and that where it's spilled out into the ocean. But even that water that steams up, even that gas or the steam that gets created is not safe, for whatever chemical reaction that goes on with it. But that's it. So this one, I believe, has set or is about to set a record for the longest running volcano in modern history or known history of the island, and this goes back to the 1500s. That was the last time that somebody had monitored or known what the length and the duration of the volcano. Prior to that, don't know. No, but I also take a look at this thing, and there's some drone video someplace too that will show you the entire island. And again, it's a big chain of islands, and the islands are massive, and the volcano, the mountains that are there are much bigger than what we're looking at, over here. So it's a lot of violent action has got to have taken place over there to create those things over the millennium that have put it together, or millions of years. Same with the volcanoes and the islands in Hawaii, just massive stuff. So let us see what we got over here. I'm going to pop back over to the YouTube page and see if we could find something. Let's go to my channel. I guess that's the way to go to. Yeah, let's go home. Otherwise, you got a whole bunch of videos on it. Hey, yeah, I'm looking, by the way, to start promoting promoting that. So this is the page. These are the videos that I've looked at, over here. The cruise industry, what a challenge! Right, you can see everything there. Yep, the cruise industry, what an unbelievable challenge. That is. Oh, here's a drone. Let's just play this one for a short while, as that goes. 1, 2, 3, and boom. Skip the ads. So that is all that black that you're looking over there. That is volcano. That is the lava that has come down currently. That is all recent. You can see what's going on with these homes. Some of them spared, kind of spared. I don't know if that's a spared or kind of spared kind of home. And a few others just gone. There's one that's like up in the middle someplace over there. And it's like all around it. I think this might be the one over there with that roof. Like, just somehow the lava just went all around the darn thing. Absolutely incredible. But it has the amount of destruction unbelievable. Banana plantations unbelievable. Quite a bit of this thing. So this is, by the way, done by a Guten Tag. And we could put the link up for him under this thing too. That would be fine. Let me just pop over here. This way, if you guys want to follow it, I'm going to give him full credit for it. I had nothing to do with the creation of this video. It was not me. It was them. So that's that aspect of it. And I want to get back to, let's go here. I want to pull up, what's his name's video also. This way we have that bushcraft and see what's going on there. It's kind of interesting. Definitely. Whoop, Bushcraft Bear, La Palma. Let's see what's going on there. And that is from 20 hours ago. I know he did some stuff recently on that one. A short report. All right, let's go. This is from last night. Let's just get going on with that one. Gonna pop over there, but you can see them, and it's pretty wide. It's a beautiful island, absolutely beautiful island. But yeah, he was all prepared to do this thing when the time came up for him to do this. Yeah, look at that. That is something. That is absolutely something else. And it's a shame this is not 3D. Then I think we get a much better idea as to what the whole thing really truly looks at. I'm just going to skim forward over here. There we go. Let's go here. Get an idea. Those white buildings, a lot of that, those are banana plantations. A lot of them were under here. But you can see with all of this, there's still some pretty, some big mountains that are back there. And this was shot on December 7th. This is from a week ago. It's from a week ago. Let's see if we can jump forward over here to a little bit more of an aerial shot. You can see some big mountain range in the back over there. And there's some of these homes. You need a helicopter to get to them. It's just absolutely, absolutely amazing. Look at that. That is nature at its best or worst, depending upon your point of view. Oh, I think that's the house. That's, I don't want to say undamaged, but from the outside, we'll say, it looks like it's possibly livable, but I'm sure there's no services to the house or anything like that. Very difficult what's going on there. Let's go just jump ahead a little bit more. Yeah, there's the line, right? Talking about a line in the sand as to whose houses made it and whose didn't. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely incredible. All right, so let's go back to here. Now let's get a little bushcraft on there and see how he's doing. So let's go stop sharing there. I'm going to share again to share and share alike. And this is kind of cool. Short report. And this is from last night that he was talking about this. It's a 2-minute video. I'll make a comment or two, and then we'll call it a day.
Bushcraft Bear speaking to you live here from the Canary Islands, La Palma. It is Sunday evening and I am back here on the top of the hill. Evening report on Sunday, December the 12th. This afternoon I witnessed a brief but powerful reactivation of the volcano here on the island of La Palma. I had just finished my report when the volcano got noticeably louder. A little later, loud explosions could be heard and black ash rose into the sky. A short time later, the sun disappeared behind a thick cloud of ash. With the binoculars, I could see a wide stream of lava flowing down the base of the cone. Only a short time later, the volcano became quiet again and it was as if nothing had happened. The cone of the Cumbre Vieja volcano measures 1,124 meters above sea level. All right, my dear viewers, that's all for today. I wish you a very nice Monday and start into the new week. We will see us again in the next video. Until then, take care, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you very much for your kind comments and prayers. Thank you for your support. Goodbye.
Yeah, that guy is actually something else. He, like I said, he's been shooting these videos. He does the takes tour. I don't know if he takes people on tours. Got to find out. Hey, my wife joined in over here. Hey, Karen, I'll put her up there. There you go. This is how we say hello to my wife by doing these things. So we'll hide that one. She wants to comment. But we went to the Grand Canary Islands for our honeymoon, which was, yes, it was a couple of years ago. 29 of them, actually. 29. So it would be fun, interesting to go back. We'll go hiking together through the thing. Yeah, I don't think we was going to go hiking there and doing that whole thing. But who knows? Maybe a plane ride around the island, something like that. When we went, I kind of wish we did a couple of things. One of them, getting one of those boats, glass bottom boats. We went to Bermuda one time, did a glass bottom boat ride. That was kind of wild, but it would be fun, exciting, interesting to go and see what's going on with the volcano and what that means, how it all gets formed, and some of the questions I got on the, like the earthquakes. And that's one I got right now too. And if you have an opinion, you want to chime in on that one, that'd be fine. But like there's earthquakes. So you get earthquakes. Some of them are deep. Some of them are 30 miles under in the crust, underground. Others are 10 miles underground. And they're all right. The epicenter is right in that island area, right over there. It's like, well, what does that mean? From a volcano standpoint, is it better or worse for him to be that low or not? Also, when it starts and stops, is it recharging? Is there any way to know that? Is there any kind of thermal imaging, something like that, that can be done? Curious. And then, of course, let's take a look, but let's take a look at the positive side. And look, if I was sitting over there and I was talking to those residents, I don't know if I'd be able to say positive side at this point in time. It's like so much destruction, so many houses, so much personal property. I don't know what's covered by insurance or any of that kind of stuff, but it's that land generates quite a bit of heat. I know you take a look up in Iceland, right? You get those hot the lakes over there. They're like hot water baths. The water's hot. It's always steaming and hot. It's a heck of a tourist destination. This one too. There's an airport there, so maybe tourism grows a little bit more. Maybe geothermal heat or air conditioning, might be a factor over there. Geothermal power, let's put it that way, might be something to explore over there. I don't know. And I'm guessing since nobody's commented, you may not know either. I don't really know. I saw a lot of solar panels over there. Sun seems to be out quite frequently. Solar could be a big thing. The alternative energy, on the islands over there. But maybe there is some benefit from a power standpoint. You have that. I know from a growing standpoint, the reason why there's so many banana plantations out there is that the earth is filled with all kinds of minerals. The surface of the earth over there is filled with all kinds of minerals. Remember, that's all volcanic ash. Something to be said about that too. Oh, is it all bad? It's not all bad, but right now it's terrible for those folks that have lost. Many folks have lost everything. With the destruction that took place there. Fascinating from a geological standpoint. Yeah, from someone sitting 3,000 or 4,000 miles away. Yeah, it is kind of fascinating. Who knows? There's even somebody calling for a big landslide, possible tidal wave coming across the ocean. I don't know. One person. I wouldn't worry about it. One person. It needs to have a whole mountain fall into the ocean all at the same time. So, yeah, I'd venture to say we don't have to worry about that, issue taking place. There's even something talking about Hawaii too. Well, there's another fracture. If that goes, who knows? You want to learn more? Hey, go to National Geographic. How the Earth was made. It's fascinating stuff. Might eat up a lot of your time. Don't let it take up too much of your time. But the bottom line was, with all of this stuff that I'm talking about over here, here's the message. With tests and things like that you have to do, you gotta always stay fresh, always stay learning. It's a lot easier to continue to study something if you're still in that study mode. It doesn't have to be as full-born as it would be if you were studying in college. Give you college students a lot of credit taking all those tests day after day. You got all these different tests and things like that that are coming up, different certifications. A lot of credit to you on that one. But when it comes to learning, we should never stop learning. It's always something to pick up on, something to do a little bit better in what we're doing. And then, of course, if you want to look at things from a technology standpoint, it keeps on growing. It keeps on growing. There's a program I was listening to last night. Scott Possession had somebody on, and it had to do with coding. And Scott continued to ask, is like, has coding gotten easier to do? Now, the person that was on the other side of the table from him was you saying yes and no and the rest of that stuff. I think I can understand where Scott was coming from on that from someone who doesn't code. Is that can the instructions of coding are the instructions of coding easier to do? I think the answer to that is yes. All right, it's just telling it what to do, and what was mentioned is like some of it was telling it in English what to do, but the things that it can do, much more complicated. We're trying to do so many more things. It's not just, hey, there's a volcano over there. It's will that volcano erupt again? How much damage will be done? How long will it go for? That's a bigger question than saying, hey, is there an earthquake associated with this? Will it erupt? When will it erupt? It's a lot more difficult. Our engineering projects, we go bigger and bigger. We get more and more complicated as we're doing different things, trying to get more efficient as we do things, using solar energy, using alternative energy. It's not that we power a building, it's how do we power a building. So has coding gotten easier to do? Has it been easier to get into different areas, to do different things? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 20 years ago, there's no way we could have done this. Now, all of a sudden, turn on a button, the light comes on. Here we are in StreamYard. And for just a couple of dollars a month, I'm using this program. I'm out on different things and all the rest of that stuff. Barriers to entry, I think they're being broken down to such a level where it's so much easier to do so many different things. The harder part is actually being really good at those things and really using it to its fullest potential. That's harder. That's much harder. Or it's much more creative. And no matter what happens, that side of it, that'll always be there. It's not what do you do, it's what can you do with what it is that you do. And if you're a creative thinker, it's good. If you're really engaged in what you're doing, that's even better. If it's something you're inherently good at and you see things that other people don't see, that could be absolutely magical. But the first step is always being prepared to learn and do. So just keep doing that. Failures come and go. Learning experiences happen all the time. And sometimes the best way to learn is by screwing up. And if you go into those situations where you screw up and not hurt anybody, when you screw up, you know what? It could be a whole lot of fun. Might even be comedy material for you one day. I got to get somebody on here that does comedy, does improv comedy. I can tell you how important that is. Makes you think, makes you react, think, and don't question yourself. Just think and go and do. That's a big thing. It is a big thing to do. Give you an opportunity to say yes and then go, what the heck did I say yes to? And I got to tell you, I'm going to leave on this note, some of the best relationships, some of the best opportunities, some of the best things I ever did had to do with me saying yes and then me saying, what the heck did I just say yes to? Do it, my friends. Just do it. Just be prepared for everything. Keep learning, keep studying, keep doing things you're not comfortable doing. Keep your open attitude because anything is possible. And if you have the right attitude, people are going to see that. And all of a sudden, they're going to call you up and say, hey, would you be interested in? And maybe that's the best referral of them all. When other people are thinking of you and you have nothing to do with it. You're just doing your thing. Speak well. Speak often. And by all means, live absolutely inspired. And eat a tomato.